been on some major campuses, bro. It's really
Yeah.
fantastic. I know you're at Oklahoma now, but give us just a brief overview, if you would, of some of these other campuses, and the ministries you've launched there. Just kind of chronologically, just kind of touch on each one and what you attempted to do at each of those campuses.
Yeah, love to. Just some quick background. Susan, my wife, had ministered in Russia and me in Japan. And when we got married, we had already written the check and said, Lord, here's our life. Wherever you want us, we want the nations. So we were planning on going to either Russia or Japan. And Susan came down with an illness. She's a Nav kid, by the way, and was leading Bible studies and prayer groups and mission trips every summer in college, and came down with an illness as we were getting married that she thought maybe I just pushed it too hard in college. And turns out she's had that illness for, Steve, you and I have talked about this with your wife, for about 25 years now. And so as we got married, two things happened. She started losing energy quickly, and we realized the idea of going overseas in a couple of years was probably not realistic. Life in the U.S. was hard enough, but we decided to go minister to Greeks. Neither of us were Greek, but we really had a heart for reaching the Greek system at Penn State. There were 52 fraternities and 25 sororities. And so we said, hey, these are our people. And so Susan's energy went down. But the second thing that happened was God really began to grip my heart for this country as I saw, man, these are our next leaders. And I'd say probably 95% of those in our Greek ministry came to Christ through that ministry.
Wow.
And we just thought, man, if this is not a mission field, I don't know what is. So in our hearts, we wanted to go to the nations, and the Lord really gripped us going, hey, this is one of the nations. And God just really began to give me a heart for this nation. And so that became part of my heart's cry was, Lord, use me in my own nation to reach this country, but also to be raising up people that would go to the nations. And so that's been a joy to be able to do that, and to just continue to labor here and try to wreak as much havoc as we could. So we started off at Penn State, and then you guys, another hero, you guys have probably heard of the name and know a guy named Roger Hershey at Penn State. So we actually, as we were leaving, we handed off our Greek ministry to Roger Hershey, who wanted to come back to his alma mater at Penn State and minister. He had, of course, held several positions around the world with Cru, and he thought, man, if I could do anything, I want to get back into the field and minister to students. And so we handed that off to Cru, to Roger Hershey, went and opened up the University of Arizona. And on a plane, maybe the first month I was there on a plane ride, the Lord just distinctly put on my heart, hey, I want you to be thinking of an exit strategy from the get-go. And I said, Lord, I don't want to leave a day earlier or stay a day later than you want. Help me to maximize. I'm more of a pioneer than a settler, and I've always known that. And I thought, Lord, help me to maximize my gifting and my contribution, but not have this thing built around me to where when I leave, it's going to crumble. And so most folks in ministry don't do a great job of succession planning. I think, Steve, you're probably one of the, you are my hero in that, one of the few who you've built in such a way that you've maximized your gifts, but when you leave, the thing takes off and people forget that. I found ministries I didn't even know that you started, Steve. So
as soon as I leave, the thing just shoots straight up, So I wonder if there's a correlation there somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Similar to that. And so that's really from day one. I felt like the Lord at Arizona was saying, hey, build this thing in such a way that you can get somebody else in that will take it. And once we got to about 80 student leaders, I realized I'm the bottleneck here. And we had a great young leader, and it's hard for Robin to lead when Batman's still in town. And so we said, hey, we're going to hand this thing off to you. You're ready to take it, and then we'll go plant another one. So we went up to UC Davis. We're there for 4 years. That's where Paul and I became buddies. And the hardest time for us personally in our lives. So I hit the wall, went through burnout at 40 at that time, but the ministry was just going gangbusters. So within 4 years, God had raised up folks to replace us, and the ministry was in a great place to say, hey, we feel like we have one more campus in us. Let's to pioneer let's see where the Lord leads. And that, of course, sent us here to OU. So we've been here for almost 5 years, and just handed off the main part of the campus here to a young leader, but I still spend time with the ROTC students. So God raised up a kind of a ROTC ministry here with some amazing cadets and midshipmen, and that's just been a blast.